Hello, welcome back to Corpse Party, Book of Shadows. Alright, let's go ahead and get into the final chapter here. Byakuden Senior High School, Student Council Room, 4:30 p.m.
おい生徒会長、明日だぞ。
See, it could be a little lower. Hang on. Yeah, that good? Might have to keep moving my head a little bit.
ん？何がだ？
蹴り入れていい？
Kick him! Kick him!
何があるんだ明日？こら！生徒会室で暴力行為は禁則と定めだろう。
知るもんか。忘れてる方が悪いもん。
やめな。こちらに非があるなら謝罪する。まず聞こうじゃないか。
この部屋の徹底掃除だよ。見てこれ。何これ。片付けろっつうの。何この玉入れのやつじゃん。体育祭いつだったよ。
ああ、そういえばそんなことを言っていたか。一体
忘れてたでしょ。
Oh shit. Hang on, let me turn myself down. I might have pitched the mic a little bit. So I gotta move myself. Hang on. I'm in the corner.
いや、記憶はしていた。僕も美月の意向には。
普通に喋れ。
ああ、忘れてたさ。俺だっていろいろ考えることがあって忙しかったんだよ。会長だからって何でもかんでもみんな俺んとこ持ってくるしさ。悪かったな。
うん、許す。
なんだ。
初期としての進言です。たまには言い訳くらいした方がいいよ。男らしい生徒会長もかっこいいけどさ。
Oh my gosh. They're into each other. It's so cute.
だが戦線離脱は許さないからな。逃げられると思うなよ。
わかった。
He's like a well-oiled machine that's like wound up too tight. She's there to set him straight.
わかんねえやつだな、智弘。ミンコは俺の嫁だっつってんだろ。
いや、譲らないぞ。涼介にはナナさんって人がいるだろ。二股とかマジない
バカ。3人からモテて初めてリア充だろ。上皇。
Wow.
楽しそうだね、それ。ゲーム？
どう山本、お前もやる？タッチペンでグリグリしてチューするゲーム。女の子3人と付き合えるぜ。
何？
ハマるのはいいけど、一人に絞れ。
Sorry, I had to clean my glasses a little bit.
いって。
あんたら明日のこと覚えてるんだろうね。
何でしたっけ？
Oh my god. Kick him! I had no idea any of this was going on in the student council room that day. I had other things on my mind. Specifically, a certain boy. Yakuden Senior High School, Class 2-4, after school. My name is Toko Kirasaki. Hey Kriko, what's up? Welcome to the stream. How are you? I've been waffling for quite some time on whether or not to say anything, but finally decided to bite the bullet and ask my best friend Kurosaki.
ねえねえ、ゆうやってさ、彼女いるの？
Hi Sage, welcome to the stream. How are you?
ん？あ、いや、あいつ今フリーだと思うよ。なんで？
狙っちゃおっかななんて。
Oh my god. Sweetheart, you can do so much better.
マジ？おお、いいじゃん、応援するよ。でもあいつな、女の子といてもいっつもつまんなそうにしてるから、付き合えても切り裂きがあんまり楽しくないかもしれない。
Been grinding Pokerogue? Oh, nice.
でも確かにゆうやってモテる割に手とか全然出してこないって女子はみんな言ってるな。
それって悪い印象？
クリーンなイメージ。
Oh my goodness.
おお。
This was Kensuke Kurosaki, who had known Yuya Kizumi, the boy I liked, pretty much all his life. Figured I'd come to him for all the information needed in my conquest, since he was pretty much guaranteed to know Yuya's dating history. And so far, things seem to be going really well. I mean, not only did I confirm Yuya wasn't seeing anyone, but I got his best friend's blessing too. Ooh, that sounds pretty cool. And confirmed that he really wasn't the showy, obnoxious cool guy type. That suited me just fine. Oh my god. I'd be rooting for her if but the guy that she's into is a sociopath. Holy shit. Kurosaki was understandably rather startled by the extraordinarily agitated female voice that suddenly rang from behind his head. But that's Hellgirl Mitsuki for you. Ultraman, oh nice. Oh, I'm so sorry. I hope she's doing better. She was standing in the classroom doorway, arms folded across her chest, looking like some angry deity about to cast judgment down upon the world. And she had that deathly gleam in her eyes, the one that could fell the mightiest warrior before she even had a chance to draw a sword. Oh, that's good.
今日は生徒会室の徹底掃除するから来なさいって言ったでしょ。
いや、俺今日部活だって言ったじゃん。おい、袋いんな。
逆らうな。もう無理だ。
Uh-oh. Yeah, this was definitely Hellgirl's work. All the complexion was gone from Footgroy's face. He was a man with a demon on his back. Whip at the ready, fully prepared to bring divine punishment upon all who opposed her. He was right. It was easier just to give in. Mitsuki then grabbed the neck of Kurosaki's neck and began dragging him out of the door in a decidedly painful-looking manner. What the hell? It was like a teary-eyed chick caught in the talons of a bird of prey, struggling in vain as he was carried off to meet his grisly end. Oh my god, the way this girl is describing everything is kind of funny. Godzilla and Kong? Ooh.
俺生徒会じゃないのに。
I just loved watching those boys interact with Hellgirl Mitsuki. Couldn't wait to see more. Didn't even care if I had to clean in order to do it. I was a volunteer after all, so pretty much off the hook here. I could follow them at my own pace. No dragging for me. As soon as we left the classroom, though, we ran into Yuya. Or rather, I did. As in, literally ran into him. I wasn't watching where I was going, and I ended up slamming into him so hard that I fell over. Immediately, he reached out his hand to help me up and asked if I was alright. Now that's a white knight if I have ever seen one. What a fun evening this would be. I imagined it ending with me lying in bed, dreaming of Yuya's perfect face inching ever closer to mine, but instead... Oh no.
大丈夫トコ。いいよ。全部吐いちゃったら楽になるよ。
Oh shit, they ended up here.
どうする？みんなのところに戻る？
Alright, so let's take a look around here. Even with the knob turned at full blast, there's no water coming through these pipes anymore. Stall doors seem to be stuck and absolutely will not open anymore. I was just in there. Maybe the lock somehow got jammed when I left? It's a half-decomposed corpse. Fortunately, it's too far gone to determine the age or gender. But there's still a fully intact student ID name tag lodged between two bones, identifying these as the remains of a teenage girl. Komashiro Trade School, Tomomi Morinaga. It's a mirror, but it's too cloudy to make out much detail. For some reason, the air around the spot feels unnaturally chilled. Probably be best to keep your distance. Okay. Whoops. Oh shit, what happened?
涼介涼介痛いか痛いか
膝と大腿部の関節を縛った。出血は抑えられるはずだ。
足も持ってきてるから心配するな。
We were in an old-fashioned, run-down, and probably condensed school building. None of us knew how we got here, nor even where here was. I just emerged from the girls' room with Emmy after losing my lunch. Yuya, Hoka, Katayama, and Shimada were waiting. The whole hallway was an absolute bloodbath after what happened. Poor Katayama walked right into some kind of booby trap, and half his right leg was lopped off from the knee down. It looked excruciating. How is somebody supposed to handle a situation like this? Why did this have to happen at all? Oh, nice. Sounds like you got some good stuff.
なんなんだよこの学校。なんで罠とか仕掛けてあるんだ。つうかどこだよここ。ふざけんなよ。
静かにしてよ。涼介大怪我してんだぞ。
Oh man, they're already losing it.
あ？なんだおい。やんのかこれ。
This is what tagging along with Mitsuki and the others got me. I thought it was going to be a laugh riot, and at first it was great. We all went to the student council room where we met up with Katayama, Shimada, and Emmy, and started cleaning and goofing around. Then when we were done, Emmy suggested we all try out this new charm she discovered on the internet. She's nuts for that kind of stuff. She took out this simple white paper doll, and we were all kind of fascinated. So we did as we were instructed, and then suddenly everything went dark. There was a violent shaking, and then we were here in this old-fashioned schoolhouse. No explanation.
とにかく出ようよここ。みんなで一緒にここを出よう。玄関に行こう。
片山は
俺が背負う。
Yuya was so kind. You can always count on boys in times like these. Still, there was a potential problem with this course of action.
待って。
Oh, neat.
でも今みたいな罠とかさあったら危ないよ。人を背負ってたらとっさに動けないし。
Yeah, you got some good stuff, Sage.
だけどだからまずは外までの道の安全を確保してから片山くんを連れに戻ってきた方がいいと思うんだ。
賛成だ。
そっか。
Yo, Shimada's got some cool accessories though.
涼介大丈夫だぞ。お前を置いてったりしないな。
Oh, Okawa was in a state of absolute panic. Just kept muttering to himself at Katayama's side. Two of them had always been extremely close. Only natural that he'd be worried, though his concern kind of bordered on obsession.
でもじゃあ誰が行くの？通路を歩いてるだけでいきなり足が蹴飛ばされるの？
お前今玄関行こうっつったじゃねえか。行ってこいよ。
Shimada practically spit his answer at her. I hate people like him. Sure, he had a pretty face, but that's basically all he had, though. People like him pose as models in men's journals, but they're not good for much else. Got a lot of girls too, but I'm not one of them. Never get past his awful attitude. It's such a huge turnoff for me when guys act that way. Why are you thinking about what you're into in a time like this? Not that I don't admire speaking it with confidence and force. I try to do it myself whenever I can. There's a difference between speaking forcefully and speaking in a way that belittles others. Shimada was basically cold and uncaring.
私が行くよ。言い出すってだし。どこ？
俺も行こう。
What a difference. Like night and day. Kind and thoughtful people like him don't make flippant remarks. They just man up and get stuff done. I was crushing on him harder than ever, because now, not only did I think he was both cool and hot, I also gained a ton more respect for him. Ooh, well, maybe you'll have some time later on to read it. Sounds pretty cool.
大人数で行く必要はない。行くならあと一人くらいだ。どうする？
That silence. No volunteers, huh? Everybody just looked at one another and looked away as if they're ashamed of themselves.
俺はどうしよう、涼介。寂しいよな。
He's frantically shifting his gaze from one person to another. Never seen him so on edge before. Finally, the silence was broken by a loud, shrill male voice. Definitely not whom I would have picked.
くそ、俺が言ってやるよ。お前はここにいろ。
いいの？女子の桐崎さんが行くって言ってるのに。
俺が行く。ヘタレはここで待ってろ。邪魔になる。
わかった。俺は涼介についてるよ。頼む。
Damn.
じゃあ行こう。急がないと片山マジで危ないし。
Oh, hey Flash, welcome to the stream. Yeah, one guy just lost his leg.
どこ？気をつけてね。
And we have Kizumi here, so there's gonna be more casualties. Was I scared? You bet I was scared. But in a situation like this, everybody has to work together. As long as I had any willpower left in me, I wasn't about to give up. Plus, it didn't hurt that Yuya was with me, so I knew everything was going to turn out just fine. It begins. Alright. Boys' room is completely boarded up. Won't be possible to get inside. Damn it. One leg out of the race. He's a goner. Gotta keep a lookout for things. Make sure I don't miss anything. Shangri-La had like that whole key in the whole thing, whole like idea in the whole thing. I like spent hours trying to figure out. So I gotta make sure I gotta look at everything. So I think we're meant to go to the entrance hall. Just like the guy in Kids Nation. I think he broke his leg if I remember right. Oh shit. Oh, I've heard of that show actually, yeah. Saw people talking about it. It's locked up tight. Looks like I'll have to try somewhere else. The lab is always locked up. Yeah, that's how they described it. The word infirmary is written on the plate above the door. Somehow the room just felt like it would be deserted. I was oddly confident about that. Not sure why I felt that way, to be honest, but for good measure I shouted, "Is anyone in here? There?" Still hadn't found Mitsuki after all. I didn't hear her call back though, so really we had no business in this room whatsoever. Wait, was that a key sticking out of the lock? Would have locked the door but left the key. What would be the point?
お、なんだこれ。扉に鍵刺さってるぜ。
何してんの？
中に化け物でもいたら大変だろ。出てこれないようにしてやった。
その鍵どうするのよ。
俺が持っとくよっと。危
ないな、投げないでよ。
キャッチうめえだろ。まだ高く投げられるぜ。
Oh, now you're just showing off. Pain in the ass. Shimada was such a pain in the ass. I really couldn't stand the guy. Okay. You're still doing it?
しつこい、分かったからやめて。
ここ天井高えな。よし。ふっ。な。ああ、どこ行った？まあいいや。知らね。
And now the infirmary was cut off from us. If we needed it. Brilliant. Goddamn.
昇降口だ。やった、出られる。
I rushed over to the door, hopeful yet afraid, knowing it might not open, but praying this horrid place would show us at least a little mercy. Gingerly, I raised my hand and pushed on it, and swung it open without even the slightest agitation. It seemed almost too easy. It was unnaturally dark outside, though, and the rain was coming down so hard that peeking my head out for just a moment left my uniform completely soaked. Shimada pushed past me, throwing the door open even wider than his usual lack of regard for anyone and anything around him. My clothes went from soaked to drenched in a matter of seconds. If I were to actually walk out into it, felt like I'd drown.
なんだこりゃ。真っ暗だぞ。森？
ひどい雨。こんな中外に出て行ったら服びしょ濡れになりそう。
そりゃ見てみてえな。
けど 外に出られることは分かったね。片山たち連れに戻ろう。
You!
ね、
Dickhead.
ユウヤ。
Despite our having found a way out, Yuya's demeanor hadn't changed a bit. He was standing back in the hall where he could watch over us, while also keeping an eye out for anyone else who might happen to by. The model of maturity. Shimada, on the other hand...
頑張れよ。俺はもう出るぞ。こんなわけわかんねえところ、とっとと出るに限るぜ。片山のところになんか戻らねえよ。
Oh boy. Yep.
マジで言ってる？
あー、当たり前だバカ。脳なしから順番に死ぬようになってるんだよ。あんな奴らほっとけよ。
はあ、びっくり。いいんだこんなやつ。
よう、桐崎。お前も来いよ。
Ew. The tone of his voice said it all. He'd hit the ultimate low. After abandoning his friends to save his own hide, he was now basically propositioning me.
お前には死んでほしくないんだ。前から大事に思ってたからさ。
Ew! With an obviously rehearsed and truly sickening pickup line. He really is the slime ball damn and all slime balls.
信じらんない。何お前、こっち見んなよ。
I can't believe he had the nerve to pull something like this. Felt like that I felt like that he may have been the first time I'd ever truly yelled at someone. I was absolutely livid. And he wasn't even done. No, he still had plenty of salt left to throw in the wound.
うるせえブス。調子乗ってんなよ。
Oh, I see. He's a nice guy. Oh no, I'm totally a nice guy. Ugh.
せっかく行かせてやろうと思ったのによ。後悔しろや。
死ねえ。こいつマジ切れる。行こう、ユウヤ。
Excuse me. My head was swimming. I was scared. I was angry. I was sad. Every negative emotion brought to the forefront, and every positive emotion pushed away. I didn't look back. I just turned away from Shimada and walked over to Yuya's side and continued past him into the hallway. Yuya had been watching all this unfold from the other side of the room. For a moment, he just stood there, staring blankly at Shimada.
あ？何見てんだよ。消えろよ、能面野郎。
Shimada drew a large knife from his breast pocket. His tip struggled to glisten in the dull light of the room, but did ultimately succeed. He began waving it around like a dumbass, probably thinking it made him look more menacing.
見ろよこれ。昨日買ったんだよ。使えそうだろ？いろいろ。
お前は本当に面白いな。
あいつ女10人くらいいるんだよ。信じられる？何が大事に思ってたよ。どんだけ女の子バカにしてんの。マジ許せない。
I was indignant. I was fuming. Just kept cursing and mumbling as I fast walked to the third floor to meet up with the others. And all the while, Yuya was keeping pace with me, saying nothing at all. Always a model of maturity, always even-tempered. He really was like a rock. Or maybe he found my mutterings annoying, was just keeping quiet so I'd do the same. I didn't like that possibility one bit, so I mentally slapped myself on the cheek, forcing a forcing a forced positivity in my voice and tried to engage him in cheery banter.
ゆうやはその点誠実だよね。女の子傷つけたこと一回もないでしょ。超モテるのに悪い噂聞いたことないもん。ある意味すごいよ。
I looked him square in the eyes, as if asking him, "Isn't that right?" And for a moment, his eyes did meet mine. Then I went right back to the hall. Was he not used to receiving compliments from women? That seemed hard to believe.
よくわからない。
What a cute, innocent response. Must have come across as bipolar to him or something. 1 second, I tried to lighten the mood with small talk or compliments. Then I started to feel scared of the school again, or angry at Shimada or sad for Katayama. My mind just couldn't make up on its mind on what to feel. Mitsuki!
美月だよね、今の声。下の階だ。
Mitsuki's voice echoed up from below, but our friends were waiting for us above. For a moment, I wasn't sure which direction to go, but only for a moment. The fact is, our friends were very, very close. So close that it would be foolish not to tell them what was going on before chasing after Mitsuki.
急ごう。エミや片山たち連れてみんなで下に行こうよ。
Yuya just nodded and began running up the stairs. I was right behind him.
お待たせ。出口見つかったよ。さあ、みんな行こう。
I was out of breath, staring down at the ground and talking to what I assumed to be 3 very attentive friends. But then I looked up. They were all there. There was no immediacy, no urgency in anyone's face. Emi and Hokawa weren't even looking at me, nor at Yuya, but at Katayama. They were fixated on his face, and each bore a sad, hopeless expression. They certainly weren't about to get moving. There was a general heaviness in the air. Something was very wrong. I gently reached out my hand and touched Emi's shoulder.
どうしたの？
Oh no, did he die?
どこ？ダメ。片山くん、どんどん衰弱してる。
陽介、喋らなくなったよ。どうしよう。陽介。
Oh shit. Emi's eyes were filled with tears. Okawa, too, was cradling Katayama's head and looked like he'd been crying this whole time. His eyes were bright red and his nose was running. Yuya, still saying nothing, just walked over to Katayama's side, bent down and began examining his wound.
急いだ方がいい。
The 4 of us silently but unanimously agreed that our best course of action was to pick up Katayama and bring him out through the exit we discovered. We had to be very, very quick about it, or he really would die. Could tell just by looking at him that his time was almost up.
刻みくん、背負える？
ああ、背に乗せるのを手伝ってくれ。
涼介、頑張れ。みんなが助けてくれるぞ。
As this was all going on, I had that nagging feeling that I was forgetting something. Of course, Mitsuki. We had to go find her. We couldn't just leave her behind after all.
ゆうやどうしよう私2階ちょっと見てきていい美月の声が気になるんだ遠くに行っちゃったら
He didn't even have to say anything this time. Besides, told me the whole story. Got it. Now I can trust you with this task, they said. That was enough for me. I shot off down the hall like a bullet. I was determined to find Mitsuki and rejoin everyone in the en route. Hurried down to the second floor. But Mitsuki's voice was coming even farther down. I'd have to keep going to the first floor ahead of the others. Oh, I haven't saved. Hang on, let me save. Save! I did! See, I think I know where she is. Oh, hello! You scared me! There's a thoroughly decomposed corpse here. The name on his name tag sounds male, but it's a little hard to tell. Matsukaze Prefectural High School. Motohiro Suzuki. This way? The door leading to the covered walkway is frozen in place, as if it's just decoration on the wall. Well, what good does that do me? No good, I tell ya. Poor guy died on the stairs. Rest in pepperonis. Right here? Hmm. Okay. It's a half-decomposed corpse. Though kind of hard to tell, it appears to be the remains of a senior high school student. She still seems to be loosely gripping her student ID name tag in one of her hands. Kurashiki Industrial High School. Leona Omura. Leona? Interesting name. Rest in pepperonis. Huh? Where else do you want me to go? Having gone completely skeletal, it's virtually impossible to determine age or gender. Fortunately, the deceased name tag seems to have survived and identifies him as a male student from a trade school. Komashiro Trade School, Toru Takahashi. Industrial in Leona, interesting. Probably industrial schools all over the world. If I kept running in circles like this, I'd never find her. I was in a state of panic and I was allowing it to steer my path. Frustrated with the situation and with myself for choosing to give up and head back empty-handed, I forced myself to stop and turn. I was going to do what I should have done in the first place. Call out Mitsuki's name with everything I had in me, and hope she responded.
Mitsuki! Mitsuki! どこ? みんないるよ!
No answer. Just the cold, lonely sounds of the rain and wind bearing down on this old, dilapidated building. This may have been a fairly large school, but sound traveled well in here. If she were anywhere in this hallway, I'm sure she would have heard me. And if she were just here only minutes ago, she definitely could have been around now. Could something have happened to her?
美月
Oh boy, no hope, no ghost hears. Next time I start exploring this place. It's recently distilled corpse, still a bit warm. Based on appearance and uniform, this is likely a high school boy. There's a student ID name tag on the ground next to him, but is that an alias? Fake ID? Name on the card seems highly suspicious. Kurashiki Industrial High School, Onda 4th Street. On the 4th Street? What? I don't get it. Door seems like it might just be openable. Bunch of dishes. Must have propped against the door. There are wet and bloody prints all over them. It's a little disturbing. A newly deceased corpse. Based on appearance and dress, she seemed to have been female. The student ID name tag at her feet. Karasuyama High School. Megumi Onda. Doors closed up tight. Oh shit. What's happening? How do writings partially erased, making it hard to interpret what they might have said? Oh yeah, that darkening's like going up pretty fast. Alright, let's see if we can meet up with everybody. save before I interact with that. Appears to be the ghost of a young boy. Ah! I saw that coming. Demon child! Hey, I found all the name tags from Kuroshiki. Well, we can't go up there anymore. Let's go this way. Surprisingly, he did not jump scare me. You can't get jump scared if you're expecting it. There's a large hole in the floor here. It's much too big to jump over. Well, goddamn. Cabinet is locked. There appear to be numerous thick books inside. They have titles like The Truth of Taizan, Adorable Enough to Kill You. What in the world is that last one? Could that last one possibly be about? Turn slightly so I missed the worst of it. The words "kill before you are killed" are scribbled all over the school flyer. Alright, I guess we have to head back to the exit. Hello! What the hell is that? What has just appeared in front of me? Makes me think of the manga All You Need Is to Kill. I haven't heard of that one. It's pretty good. You friendly? From the looks of it, you're another victim dragged here against your will. No? Well, I'll tell you now. There's no escape from this school. There's nothing to be gained here but despair. Though if you've got an iron will, you might be able to survive for a little while at least. Here, you should have this. It'll help keep the wandering spirits at bay, though it only works once. So take it. Get out of here and fight like hell. Stay alive for as long as you possibly can. Spirit vanished, but lying on the floor below it where it had been was a gemstone. Specifically a violet colored gemstone, probably an amethyst. So I can use that to keep the wandering spirits at bay for some time, huh? One time, huh? Guess it means the full body ones, or it would have kept him at bay too. Either way, with this gem, I felt like I could actually get back to my friends safely. Was as hopeful as one could expect, all things considered. It's about Earth being invaded by rocky spike shooting aliens. One guy gets caught up and killed by then. Oh shit. Of course, he also said there's no escape from here, but It's my prerogative to believe what I wanted to believe, and ignore what I want to ignore. That is not a good way of thinking. Let's use the amethyst on that ghost kid. The guy then uses his knowledge to join the military and mess them up. Ooh, sweet. I held the amethyst up in front of me and approached the spirit. He also meets another deja vu soldier. Ooh, nice. Incredibly, it actually worked. Both the ghost and the gem faded and disappeared. The stairwell was now free to be traversed. I think the demon child is the least of our problems. Emi's face was absolutely racked with tears. She was shaking her head so violently she wanted to tell me something, but the words just weren't coming. I had a really bad feeling about this. I ran past her to the bathroom where Katayama was being lifted onto Yuya's shoulders when I left. Why? Katayama was back in the floor where we set him down when this whole ordeal began. Why wasn't he on Yuya's shoulders? What was going on? I had an inkling, but I didn't want to believe it, so I pushed it out of my mind. Oh no. I didn't know what else to say. The person just died. Not some stranger, but a person I knew. A friend. It was the strangest feeling. I kept looking at him thinking, is he really dead? Is this really what a person looks like when he dies? Seeing him like that drained every last bit of energy I had in me. I fell to my knees, thoroughly defeated. Rip. Me and I couldn't stay near the body. We gone down to the second floor where we picked a corner and just stood there, trying to recompose ourselves. Pour a drink out for the homie. Yuya elected to stay with Okawa on the third floor. I guess to try to break him from his shock and help put some distance between him and Katayama. None of this felt real. Or maybe I just didn't want it to be real. It was a nightmare. It had to be. I'd just sit up in my bed and it would all be over. My energy was waning again. I sank to the ground, landing on my knees. Emily followed my lead and put an arm around me for comfort. A friend had just died. He just died. God, why? Emily and I looked at each other. Both heard them. Footsteps coming down the hall. It's too dark to make out who it was, but by the gate was decidedly male. Two of us slowly and quietly rose to our feet, hid around the corner, and peeked out, both terrified and curious as to whom or what we might see. There, at the end of the hall, the figure finally came to view. It was a tallish man, unsteadily teetering as he slowly strolled towards us. It was Shimada, drenched head to toe.
島田君
Emi shot forward, intending to run toward him, but I grabbed her arm and held her back without even thinking about it. She turned and looked at me with a puzzled expression. Hammer douche? Mm-hmm.
あいつ私無理えまさかなんかされたのうんよかったこんな時だし起こったことだけでも伝えておかないと
She looked back at me again as she said this, staring right into my eyes in an almost disciplinary manner. It's perfect guilt stare. I couldn't help but succumb to it, feeling bad for not having filled her in about the Shimada incident. Shimada continued his slow, wet walk down the hall. Then all of a sudden, for no discernible reason, he simply fell forward, landing hard on his knees. Something was wrong with him. While I loathed the man, I didn't want to see him suffer. Emily and I were both poised to rush to his aid, when other figures randomly began appearing all around him. Figures of children, blue and ethereal, shimmering with their own light. Oh, Lord! We could barely see Shimada from our vantage point anymore. His body was obscured almost completely by the backs of these ghost children. He wasn't moving, though, so it didn't seem like they were doing anything to him. But then, he wasn't moving at all. It seemed highly suspicious. It occurred to me that maybe we should try to save him. We don't have the amethyst. Oh, shit. I inched forward. He was still exactly... Oh, Lord, he's coming! He was still in exactly the same position he had been when he fell to his knees. He literally hadn't moved at all. Was he unconscious? Emmy and I looked at one another and nodded, a silent signal to move forward and do whatever we could to help. The children vanished as we approached, revealing a horrific sight. Shimada's stomach had been flayed wide open. He was dead. The knife he'd flaunted earlier was jutting from the wound. It was an almost ceremonial death, like that of a samurai who'd thrown himself on his sword. Is our sacrifice? We dropped the sacrifice into the volcano, and the friendly gods Well, eat the sacrifice. Thank you for the sacrifice. Here, have another. No, I don't want another one. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Bad time for that. He went out on his own terms? I don't think he did.
何なのさっきの子供たち
Cthulhu, are you appeased? Blah, 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 blah.
知らないよまだ近くにいるんじゃないの
Hey, steal that necklace from him, though.
キザミくん大変なの島田くんが島田くんが
Yuya, who presumably rushed down to see what was wrong, calmly walked over to Shimada's body. He was checking for signs of respiration or pulse. He turned back to faces again a moment later. His facial expression said it all. Shimada really was dead. Kizumi has barely said anything, and that's unsettling me more than anything else. Might be Dagon. My friends and acquaintances were dying one by one. I guess I should say had died, but it didn't seem like it was over. Not by a long shot.
やばいよここ何かいる私たちを殺そうとしてる
I was doing more than trying. It had already succeeded twice over. I was scared. I was paranoid. I was shaking and crying and screaming inside. I was deathly afraid that something else would show up, and then it did. Probably 3, because I don't trust Kizumi being alone with anybody. Oh dear! There was a little girl in a red dress, standing between us and the 3rd floor staircase. I couldn't make out the expression on her face through her bangs, but I could literally feel the hatred in her eyes as she stared into our souls. Then she turned around and slid up the staircase into the 3rd floor hallway. Emi was turned the other way, so she hadn't seen the girl at all. She eventually followed her gazes, but by that time the girl was gone. She looked confused. Head demon! That particular apparition looked a lot different from the other ghosts I'd seen. There was still no doubt in my mind. She was definitely a ghost.
大川くんは連れてこようよとにかく出なきゃこの学校から私呼んでくる
Imagine she did that Zoidberg crawl.
待て
ゆうや私も
危険だここで待っていろ
Dangerous? Well, that was the direction the girl in the red dress went. And I guess Yuya didn't want me to get hurt and put in harm's way. I nodded and watched his back recede into the darkness as he chased after Emi. Goddamn, I'm sleepy.
落ち着けトウコ冷静な心にかなう武器はない
Whoever said that was full of shit.
今一番大事なことは何
They're dead. Or she's dead. What was going on? Why was Emmy screaming? I could hear voices now. Emmy and Okawa were having a heated argument.
無理よ置いて逃げなきゃ捕まるわ
こいつを置いていけないだろう早く病院へ連れて行かなきゃ
もう死んでるわ
死んでない
Yep, they were full of it.
死んでない死んでないんだ
Leave him and run? We'll get caught? That ghost girl must have been pursuing them.
大変だ行かなきゃ
Just take the dead body. Just don't argue with the crazy guy. Just take the body so he can come with. You can't argue with crazy.
何
人殺し
Uh-oh. Katayama's body was sprawled unceremoniously on the landing hall halfway up the third floor, along with Okawa. Top of the stairs stood Emmy. In front of her, Yuya, with an imposing scowl on his face. Oh, so this is when it starts. I didn't understand any of this. Just what had happened. He pushed them down the stairs, didn't he? Emmy let out another scream and came running towards me down the stairs. Okawa then seemed as if he'd fallen and broken his arm. He was upsidedly crawling toward me. It's almost as if he were trying to distance himself from Yuya.
人殺し人殺し
I ran to the base of the stairs and met up with Emmy. I needed some sort of context here.
エミ何どうしたの
逃げろ逃げろ殺されるぞ
キサミ君が蹴り落としたの急に
Yep, he did. I glanced up at Yuya, but his face was shrouded in darkness. I couldn't make out any expression at all. I don't even think he's depressed. With everything I know about this guy, he's cracked. He was cracked way before he got here. Okawa seemed to have reached his breaking point. He shot to his feet and took off behind me towards the second floor, as fast as he could. Yuya kicked Okawa down the stairs. Why?
嘘でしょ
Slowly he walked down to the landing. He was neither concerned nor scornful. His face was just a blank slate. As soon as he reached my level, he backed down and began fiddling with Katayama's body, raising the arms and letting them drop, wiping blood from the ears and nose, and looking at it as if studying a specimen under a microscope. The hell? Was he enjoying this? I finally got to see the emotion written clearly on his face. And it was elation? How is this not some crazy dream? Tears began spilling from my eyes like water. I was shocked, confused, and I don't even know what else. Damn. Amir and I found ourselves standing in front of the door to the school infirmary.
鍵島田が抜いてなくしちゃったんだよね。こんなとこ逃げ込んでもし見つかったら終わりだよ。下に逃げよう。
I hear you, girl. Poor girl was frantic. I can't say I blamed her, but, well, something about this whole situation just didn't feel right to me.
やっぱり私信じられない。
Oh my god! Her crush for that guy is overriding her senses.
何が？ ユウヤがあんな優しいユウヤがひどいことするなんて。
I've gone to school with a guy who had tested for antisocial personality disorder. How did that go? Did he like... He was a nice guy? Oh.
だって本当に蹴り落としたのよ。大川を信じられないよ。
Yep, she's blinded. She's blinded by love. Meanwhile, the social personality guy was scary as hell. It can be kind of surprising, like, yeah. Antisocial guy was basically normal. It's surprising, but yeah, I think that can happen. Like, the guy who's like trying really hard to be sociable might have some problems. Meanwhile, the guy who's just doing his own thing, not socializing with anybody, is pretty normal. It's kind of crazy how it works, but yeah. Psychology is a fascinating subject.
じゃあ勝手にすればいいよ。もう。
That Emmy pushed me out of the way and ran past me towards the stairwell leading to the first floor.
エミ知らない。私のこと嘘つきだって言うんでしょ。
And off she went. I was now separated from every one of my friends. But was I really in danger? I mean, I was, but from Yuya? That just didn't seem right. Cops arrested him for assaulting a pizza shop owner, then fighting the cops. Oh my god. Well, bye-bye, enemy. Yep. Or more likely, I didn't want it to be. I wanted to believe that this was all a misunderstanding. My legs were shaking and my head was swimming. I just stood there, unsure of where I should go or what I should do. Oh, yeah, and he's got that smile on his face. Then there he was, right behind me. And in his hands was Shimada's huge knife. The one that was last seen jutting from Shimada's stomach. It was still dripping with blood. Quiet Guy became an artist and got in the newspaper with an award. Oh, good for him. That's nice. This definitely made matters more complicated. How could I doubt Yudia's guilt when he was holding something like that? Why does he even have it? Last I heard, he was painting murals in the old neighborhood. He must be very talented. How could he possibly bring himself to pull a knife from his friend's lifeless corpse? But I wasn't going to run. I turned around and braced myself. Yikes, he got a big knife. And I opened my mouth, intent on discussing this rationally. If I ran away now, I felt like it would all be over. There would be nothing left to save, no one left to trust. But what could I possibly say to him? Okay, let's save right here. You can rational away the crazy. Can't rational. No, you cannot. No. Especially when they're like in a moment like this. My body was so visibly shuddering and my voice was breaking. I'd unconsciously taken an accusatory tone with him, which was not at all what I wanted, but it was too late to take it back now. I'd hope he didn't notice, but he did. As soon as the word "why" slipped from my lips, his eyes glazed over. It was as if all the warmth and compassion I'd seen there before was tapped and drained, leaving behind nothing more than an empty container. Uh-oh. And he just started muttering to himself and slowly walked past me, as if I weren't even there. No, I couldn't let this go on. I grabbed him by the arm and just clung to him, putting my full weight on his body to keep him from going any farther down the hallway. He was at a crossroads, about to walk down the path of no return, and I wasn't going to lose the kind, considerate Yuya I'd fallen for. Fortunately, the only tools I had at my disposal for stopping him were my feelings, and those just weren't going to be enough. I was so startled that it took me a moment before I'd even figured out what had happened. That was the first time in my entire life that I'd ever been punched in the head. He put everything he had into it. Couldn't focus. My brain was still rattling inside my skull from the impact. The world was spinning. I looked up at him with spasmic, twitchy, tear-filled eyes. There was no sign of remorse or compassion whatsoever. He looked like a feudal warrior clutching his sword and staring down at his enemy. The area all around my eye was throbbing. It hurt so badly and felt so swollen and sore. Couldn't even imagine what it must have looked like. And he wasn't done with me. Getting closer and closer, grinning unnaturally as he raised his fist for the second strike. God damn! I was running on pure instinct and adrenaline at this point. Shot to my feet and just forced him to carry me to safety. Somewhere. Anywhere. He was going to kill me. He was really going to kill me, God. Felt something rattling around uncomfortably inside my mouth, so I spit it out into my hand. It was white. A single white tooth with blood-stained highlights at its roots. Time to flee. That maniac actually knocked out one of my teeth. He was there, just behind me. I panicked, tripping over my own feet and stumbling to the ground on the landing between the first and second floor. I'd fallen on my backside, dropping my tooth on the ground next to me, again slinking away from the encroaching figure of Yuya Kizumi. Save me. Somebody. Anybody. God, please. I was scooting backwards across the floor, too stiff, sore, and scared to stand. Then my hand brushed against something small and metallic. Key. Even with my hand right over it, I was shaking so badly I could barely work my free fingers to get a grip. It was the most frustrating feeling in the world, and for a few seconds, that felt like hours. Just kept trying in vain to pick up that damn key. Finally, I slipped my finger through the ring. That's it. This is my one and only chance. Scrambling to my feet, I somehow slipped past Yuya. Ran back up the second floor as fast as I could and forced my shaky legs to carry me. I had the key. I could lock myself in. I could hide in the infirmary. Kizumi didn't pursue. Not right away. He just stood there, staring menacingly. Staring at the tooth that I dropped on the ground. Staring intently, as if trying to make out what he was seeing.
歯か
Ew! What the fuck? They had to go all in on those sounds too. The sick bastards. But also they're geniuses. That's not Rice Krispies, you sicko. Oh my god. Well. Well, I'm not hungry anymore. Anybody else? Hope the floor bacteria takes him out. There didn't seem to be any way to lock the door from the inside. I needed to find a hiding place before Yuya showed up. Corner of the room? Under the bed, maybe? Scanning every inch of the room as quickly as possible. Sizing up my surroundings, my eye stopped on one of the medicine shelves.
ハサミが置いてある。
Felt like such a revelation, like the answer I was looking for. But what was I going to do with scissors? Was I going to fight? Fight who? Yuya? I wouldn't stand a chance. I decided to leave them there. Stepped back and crouched down behind a partitioning screen that was set up in the middle of the room. Robbie had to run back to the bathrooms on the third floor to warn Okawa about the imminent threat that was approaching. Unsurprisingly, he was still crouched on the ground, cradling Katayama's lifeless head in his arms. He was still stubbornly insistent that if he were to leave that spot, he'd have to carry Katayama with him.
無理よ。置いて逃げなきゃ捕まるわ。
こいつを置いていけないだろう。早く病院へ連れて行かなきゃ。
もう死んでるわ。
死んでない。
死んでる。
死んでない。死んでないんだ。
What a stubborn, foolish man. I'd had enough. I decided I'd rip Katayama's bodies from Okawa's arms and kick it down the stairs. Made one hell of a thud when it hit the landing. But he was already dead, so what did it matter? As long as it helped get Okawa moving, I didn't care. See? Look, he's dead. So get your ass off that floor and run.
目を覚ませ。片山はもう死んでいる。早くここから逃げるんだ。
Okawa could wake up and smell the coffee and rotting flesh. Robbie was looking at me, then at Katayama's bodies, and back at me as if she couldn't make up her mind which was more interesting. But why was she looking at me? Did I have something on my face? Okawa, on the other hand, was focused squarely on Katayama. He was trembling all over, but I thought he finally understood. Then he turned toward me. Oh god. He yelled like a madman and ran down the stairs towards his friend's body. He wasn't exactly in his right mind, however, so those last few steps didn't quite go as planned. He tripped and fell quite hard next to Katayama. Yep, he is. So I'm guessing either Emmy misunderstood that Okawa fell on his own, or she didn't word it right and said that and meant that Kizumi kicked Katayama down the stairs. I wasn't the one who killed Katayama.
俺
俺に殺されるのも同じってことか。どうせみんな死ぬのだからな。
Oh. So it's all Okawa's fault. Nah, I'm just kidding. Kazami's actions are on his all his own, no matter how fucking crazy he is. Well, we're at the title. Or we're at the credits. There's no music though. Oh yeah, the voice actors all did a tremendous job with this with job here. Oh wait. Oh, there is music. It's just really quiet. I don't even think Streamlabs is picking up on it. Man, this was a good game. You really taste the despair from these characters. So this game builds on one of the endings from the original game, where everything just loops back to the beginning. So it's just gonna be now it's just an endless loop of death until someone can put a stop to it. Prologue Blood Drive chapter is now playable. Oh, okay. Yummy despair. I got all endings in chapter 7, so there's really no reason to get back into it. Tastes like taxes. I have to get Blood Tribe next time it goes on sale.
でね、うちの子が言うにはさ、あの事件は学校で流行ってる学校裏サイトが絡んでるとかね。怖いわね。ああ、ちょっと前にニュースでも話題になったわね。プロフがいじめの温床になっているとか、出会い系の的にされてるとか。まだあるのあれって。あ、今でこそあまりニュースとかで表面化しないけど、まだまだ続いてるみたいよ。うちの子もやってるのかしらね。聞いてみようかしら。学校帰りの夕方、私はまた来てしまった。目の前に聖子の家のインターホンがある。もうここに来てから1時間以上、ずっと 襲うかどうか迷い続けている。このままいても本当に不審者だ。昨日も一昨日も私はここで長い間立ち尽くして家に引き返していた。今日こそはと思いを固めてきたんだ。意を決して襲う。
True, they're everywhere.
ほらみんな飛び出しちゃダメだぞ。ゆうくんだ。聖子の弟の。よし整列。ちゃんと靴履いて。
Oh, so Yu's taken on the role of the parent now that Seiko's gone.
ほら帽子が曲がってる。いい子だな。よしよし。じゃあ兄ちゃんと手つないでいくぞ。ちゃんと買い物に行けるかな、ケイ、アヤ。いい返事だ。私はとっさに物陰に隠れてしまった。ゆうくんやあの子たちは確かに聖子の兄弟たちだ。そう、私はあの子たちに会いたくて来たんだ。何を話せばいいのかわからない。でも聖子は確かにいたんだから。この携帯の写メを見せて、お姉ちゃんだよって聖子のことを聞こう。大丈夫、説明すれば大丈夫。わからないなんて言うわけがない。
No, Naomi, they're gonna think you're
私
crazy.
は心を決めて潜んでいた物陰から出た。ねえ、声をかけた私の腕を後ろから誰かが掴んで引っ張った。誰？ダメよ、ダメ。委員長、気持ちわかるけどダメ。委員長、篠崎さんが首を横に振って私を制止する。みるみる自分の視界が滲んでいく。
This is the Can of Worms and not the Disney movie.
あの子たちに会ってどうするの？わかってるでしょ、結果は。
Yeah, Shinazaki knows exactly how this is gonna play out.
私は涙が止まらなくなってその場にしゃがみ込んだ。委員長も目に涙を浮かべて私を見つめていた。
Excuse me.
私の気持ちを本当に理解して共有してくれるのは
Disney movie is about the kid contacting aliens by accident. That sounds like the plot for the Jimmy Neutron movie as well.
天神症事件から生きて帰ってきたこの篠崎さんと サトシと岸沼とゆかちゃんだけ。天神症で命を落としてしまった友達、聖子や鈴本さん、森重、宍戸先生は、私たちの帰ってきたこの世界では存在自体が抹消されてしまっていたんだ。
It does. Oh, I think I remember. I have like some vague memories of it, but I think I know what movie you're talking about.
中島さん、聞いて。うなだれて打ちひしがれて歩いていた私に、横を歩いていた委員長が意を消したように切り出した。私ね、天神小学校を脱出してからこの半月の間、ずっとあの学校を支配していた篠崎義恵と篠崎幸子を、二人の家、篠崎家についてを図書館で調べていたの。連続児童誘拐殺害事件の新聞記事にはちょっとしか幸子のことは載っていないし、その前の保健医開始事件については地域新聞以外には取り上げられてすらいないから、ちょっと大変だったんだけれどね。地面を見ながらポツポツと話す委員長の口調は、落ち着いた静かな決意のようなものが感じられた。
That's weird. You don't see many papers talking about a nurse falling from a flight of stairs. Even if the principal tried to cover it up, there would be like all kinds of coverage talking about this nurse's death and that her child had gone missing. There was no way the principal could have stopped that kind of coverage.
霊やオカルトの話については、この子はちょっとした権威だ。私はなんとなく頼もしいような思いで彼女の話を聞いていた。旧天神症のあったこの経験の外れ、山あいの近くにね、篠崎義恵の家があるらしいの。家？幸子と義恵の？
Sure, the news would eat it up. Y'all remember the Tide Pods incident? So, for the name of sensationalism, the press decided to cover the Tide Pod trend, and instead of warning people that taking too many vitamins could be detrimental to your health. And look how that ended up. We got a whole bunch of kids on TikTok doing the Tide Pods trend. Oof, which? Yeah, all because the news started covering it more extensively. They got more copycats damaging their organs for TikTok clout. I think it's like a whole psychological thing, but it is a weird psychological thing.
So, この県内よ。そんな近くに？
I think it was like right when it was starting out. I think it was like right when the trend was starting out, it would have died out on its own, but then the news had to cover it and make it bigger than it actually was.
天神小学校はもともと私たちの地元にあった学校なの。そこに勤めていた篠崎義恵の家なんだから、それほど距離は離れていないわよ。奈穂さんのブログにも載っていたんだけれど、あの人が幸子さんの片白のオリジナルをサルベージしてきた現地なの。 ね、何かあると思わない？
You're gonna get a ghost attached to your back.
そこには今でも篠崎家の呪いのオリジンが眠っているのよ。呪いを解明する何らかの手がかりがきっとあると思うの。私は思わず唾を飲み込んだ。住所も控えてきた。電車に乗れば1時間足らずで着けるわ。中島さん、調査に行かない？今から。篠崎の家。
She's just begging to get cursed. I understand the need for answers, but Naho Sachiko like attached herself to Naho after she investigated the estate.
天神小学校では命に関わる思いをした。その呪いの元凶に接近するんだ。危険な目に遭う可能性は数倍高いはずだ。でも行こう、委員長。時計は午後の4時半を回っていた。寒くなり始めたこの時期だと向こうに着いてもすぐに日が落ちそうだけれど、それでも私はきっと委員長も一刻も早く出かけたかった。何でもいい、現状を打開するきっかけになるものが見つかるのなら。私たちはすがるような思いで電車に飛び乗って県の端にあるその場所へと向かうことにしたんだ。
I began to wish I'd gone back to change clothes before we left. But if I'd done that, I'd have to explain to Mom where I was going. And I sincerely doubt she would be amenable to the idea. Could have always just gone anyway, of course. But then I'd be directly disobeying my mother and undoubtedly making her worry sick about me. Class rep and I were seated next to each other on the local commuter train I'd never ridden before. There were only two other passengers. Much like us, they were simply staring down at the ground, riding in silence, lost in their own thoughts. These last couple of weeks have been brutal. All 5 of us who survived were feeling it. We were more exhausted than we'd ever been in our entire lives. But no matter how crazy people said we were, no matter how much our souls ached from the memories, we could never forget Seiko and the others. Every photo we have of them, albeit on film or digital, had its face blacked out completely. And the scariest, saddest thing I could imagine was the passage of time, because eventually I knew I'd have trouble remembering what they looked like.
整理するわね。私たちだけは覚えてる。ゆい先生や鈴本さん、篠原さん、森重君。天神小学校で命を落とした人たちはみんな最初からいなかったかのように現世の人の記憶から消されている。
Why was she bringing this up? I just looked down at my knees, trying unsuccessfully to fight back the tears that were welling up in my eyes yet again.
だけどこれを見て。ナホの霊界情報局。あの霊能力者の子のブログだね。何か気づかない？
The blog's final entry was the one detailing the Sachiko Ever After ritual, but we already knew that. There were no updates after it because...
あれ、ナホって人、確かそう。
Class rep nodded and looked into my eyes.
ナホさんも天神小学校の中で命を落としたはず。どういうこと？理由はわからないわ。 通り、全ての人が存在を消されるわけじゃないみたいなの。
Doesn't make sense.
調べたけど、同じようにあの学校で亡くなっていた響先生の存在もこの世にちゃんと残ってた。
I was literally on the edge of my seat, leaning in close and hanging on to her every word. She flashed me a
希
smile.
望を捨てないでいよ。
I was crying hard now, but for the first time since we'd come back, I could see the tiniest, faintest glimmer of hope in the darkness. Interesting? Yeah, it is. It wasn't much to go on, but it was easily the best news I'd heard in 2 weeks, and it made me feel a lot better about this impromptu trip. Even just this one vague clue improved our chances of finding something at the Shinozaki estate significantly. At least now, we knew what to look for. So people with magic don't get erased? I don't think it's like anything to do with that. I think it's the fact that the people who remember them managed to get out and managed to get the school, like, managed to shut down Sachiko's whole operation. At least that's my theory.
岸駅です。
着いたね。すごい、本当に地方って感じ。なんか空気が美味しい。
Okusawa.
よかったね。まだ日が明るいうちで。さあ、暗くなる前になんとか現地に行きましょう。ええ。終点の駅で電車を降りると、そこは畑や民家が並ぶ少し寂れた雰囲気の静かな農村だった。山あいの土地を開発しているためか、道が緩やかに上り坂になっている。人があんまりいないね。できれば人に会って話を聞きたいんだけどな。
No, this background is beautiful though.
この辺りでは篠崎家は結構大きな影響力のある家柄だったみたいなの。そうなんだ。委員長も篠崎さんだけど、遠い縁者だったりするのかな、やっぱ。どうだろう。篠崎生は全国にいっぱいいるからね。ねえ、道はこっちで合ってるの？こっちだと思うんだけど、目的の住所、実は番地の詳細までは分かってないんだよね。あ、でも委員長の携帯なら、ほら GPS だっけ、あれでざっくりと方向は分かるんじゃないの？それがね、ここなぜだか位置情報を取得できないの。おかしいな。よくわからないけど。道は舗装はされているけどひびだらけで、細かな石や砂がいっぱい転がっているから、歩くたびにジャリジャリ言う。少しずつ空が暗くなってきているせいかな。見知らぬ土地をこうして女子2人で制服で歩いていると、なんとなく心もとなくなってきた。ねえ、やっぱり人に聞いた方がいいよね。あのうち訪ねてみない？委員長が前方にある一軒家を指さす。そうだね、暗くなってきてるし急ごうか。すみません。すみません。留守かな？他を当たろうか。
Yo, I don't like that this place is like kind of empty.
ましょう。なんか嫌な感じだけど、でも場所聞かないことには始まらないからね。よし、あのお家に行ってみよう。委員長は付近にあった青い屋根の民家を指さした。すみません。
This is prime cult territory. Mm-hmm.
すみません。はい。こんばんは。ちょっと道をお尋ねしたいのですが。玄関ドアのすりガラスを挟んで女性の姿が見える。知らない人間の私たちの声にためらったのか、女性は少し悩んでから、はい。こんばんは。突然ごめんなさい。私たち藤沢市から来ました。あるお宅を目指しているのですが、住所がわからなくて。
あらあら、かわいいお客さん。もう暗くなるのに大変だね。
I find children of the
よ
corn.
かった。優しそうな人だ。私は委員長と一緒にペコリと頭を下げておばさんと話をした。
どこに行きたいんだって？
この住所に行きたくて、でも番地の詳細がわからないんです。こちらのお宅なのですが。
どれどれ。篠崎の家になんのよ。
実は私たち調べ事をしていてね。あ、はい。学校のことで必要があって、おばさんは急に立ち上がり、強引に私たちの体を家の外に押し出した。おばさん、何？
Is it corners in the field? Corners in the field. Oh shit.
出て行きな、早く出て行きな。
何なの？篠崎家の名前を出しただけであんなに？
Yo, something happened at that house.
あったね。辺りを見回すと、だんだん日が落ちてきている。まだ空は青いけど、街灯に明かりがつき始めていた。別の家探しましょう。篠崎家について教えてくれる人だってきっといるよ。
Probably not a good
そうだ
idea.
ね。おばさん、まだ立ってる。扉の向こう。本当だ。なんでまだ見てるの？行こう。なんか怖い。明るかったおばさんの表変に怖くなって、私たちは足早にそこを離れた。6時半か。
Yeah, this is getting kind of scary.
それから結構な距離を歩いてきた。だんだん民家は減ってきて、辺りは田んぼや雑木林が多くなる。山に登りつつあるみたい。この先に進んでも家なんてあるのかどうか不安になる。あ、車だわ。危ないわよ、中島さん。うん。道路の端により後ろから来る車が通り過ぎるのを待とうとした。
おお、どうした？女子が二人でこんなところで。危ねえでよ。
通り過ぎずに 私たちの横につけた軽トラックから優しそうなおじさんが顔を出す。
私たち篠崎さんってお宅を探してるんです。
スノザゲ？ああ、この辺でスノザゲっつったらあそこだな。もっと山ん中だ。
この先ですか？
ああ、
よかった、方向合ってたんだ。
けんどずいぶんまだ距離があるで。歩きだとまだ結構かかるじゃ。何の用があるのかわからんが乗っけてってやろうか。
Oh, okay. Well,
委員長と
guess we
顔を見合わせる。
guess we're hitchhiking.
少し迷ったけど、もう時間も遅いし、これは渡りに船じゃないだろうか。私たちはお礼を言って乗せてもらうことにした。
一応3人乗れる車だけど狭くてすまねえな。
いえ、助かります。
Well, that's quite helpful.
歩いてじゃ夜になってたかもしれないね。
まあ俺も今じゃ篠崎の家の方まではなかなか山上がらねえからな。おめえたちあんなところに何しに行くんだ。
なんと言ったらいいのか、少し調べたいことがあって。
調べたいこと？
あそこに昔住んでいた篠崎よしえさんというお医者さんについてです。
あそこはまあ自宅兼診療所でもあったから昔はよく村人が通ってたもんだったがな。今はもう誰も近づかんしどうなっとるかわからんよ。
Probably gonna be run down all the hell.
ずいぶん山道を登ってきた。この辺りからは管理もあまりされていないのか、道が悪くなってくる。タイヤが段差を拾って車がガタガタと揺れ始める。いた。
大丈夫？
平気。シートベルトしててよかった。
すごい道ですね、おじさん。
Yeah, he's not talking anymore.
なんだかちょっと運転が怖い。横で委員長の頭がガクンガクン揺れてる。大丈夫かな。
おじさん、ちょっとスピードが。
What?
破裂しそうな勢いで心臓が体の中で暴れている。今確かに人影が。私と委員長は真っ青になっておじさんの顔を見た。
大丈夫？ヒートランは。
Simpsons Hit and Run Kishi Edition.
人や動物を引いた時はもっとすげえ音がするでな。
なんだかこの人もおかしい。さっきまでの優しい雰囲気がどこかに消えてしまった感じがする。
今の人影は。
わからん。ほれ、ここから先はもう車が入れんよ。あとは歩きだ。行くのか行かねえのか。
がとうおじさん。
待っててやるげ。気が済んだら戻ってけ。こんなところに娘っ子二人ほったらかすわけにはいかねえしな。
He knows.
あ
Oh
りがとう
shit.
ございます。
大丈夫委員長。
怖かった。
なんかおかしな感じだったけど、でも待っててくれるってやっぱりいい人じゃないかな。
そうだよね。
すっかり日も傾いて夕暮れを過ぎていた。結構きつい傾斜になっているこの道の先に篠崎義恵の自宅兼診療所があるという。あ、高台が見えてきた。あの上かな。
My gut feeling is telling me he knows something. Yeah, I think so too.
いよいよね。ここが
何もない。私たちがたどり着いたそこは篠崎家の跡地だった。建物は取り壊されて完全に更地になっていた。
せっかくここまで来たのに。
あ、でも委員長、あそこに納屋。
本当だ。どうしてこれだけ。
更地の横には小さな納屋が残っていて、電灯のスイッチを入れるとまだ電気も通っていた。
こんなことってある？
うん、気持ち悪いね。私たちはせめてここに何かないかと納屋の中を調べてみた。
Oh boy, oh boy! There's a large drum that seems to have once been used for burning waste products.
中は鈴と灰だらけだね。何を燃やしていたんだろう。
Shinozaki of the corn.
なんだろうね。見た感じ、ただの灰だと思うけれど。
It's a body! They burned a body in there! The hemp sack that's filled to the brim with some kind of grain. Probably feed for farm animals.
鶏とか飼っていたのかな。
An old worn-out blanket that someone seems to have left here.
家のない人がここで暖を取っているのかもしれないね。
そっか。風が避けられるだけでも全然違うものね。冷えてきたね、やっぱり日が落ちると。
ええ。
Oh no, not a drum body, a body for sure. The mess of old cardboard boxes here, along with a rusted toolbox, any number of odds and any number of odds and ends. There doesn't seem to be anything particularly useful in or among any of them,
段
however.
ボールに篠崎1って書いてあるね。
本当だ。じゃあやっぱりここが元篠崎義恵の家だったことは確かみたいだね。
2人で数十分の間、床の下や天井の木目まで調べてみたけれど、
篠崎義恵や幸子に関する資料は何もなさそうね。
それにかなり暗くなってきたよ。おじさんも待たせてるし。せっかく来たのに心残りだったけれど、仕方なく今日は戻ることに決めた。納屋しか残ってないなんてね。
明日もっと早い時間にまた来ようよ。付近の人たちの話も聞いてみたいし。
そうだね。
That old man is gone, probably. felt like the sun had been setting forever, but now it was nowhere in sight. The wooded mountains all around us were cloaked in a veil of darkness. There weren't any lights that guide our path either, so we really couldn't see where we were going.
暗いね。来た道こっちで合ってたっけ？
さっきの車道に出なきゃね。多分合ってると思うけど。来た時まっすぐ歩いただけだったし。あ、見て委員長。木々に囲まれた林の向こうに小さくトラックの車内灯が見えた。あれ、おじさんの車だよね。
うん、来た。よかった、迷わなくて。森で遭難とかしたら大変だからね。
足を使って動いた今日は不思議な充実感があった。家で何もできずに落ち込んでいるよりずっといい。盲目的でも構わない。毎日少しでも前進していれば必ず。希望と少し違っても近いところへは行けているはずだよね。聖子が教えてくれた言葉だ。
お待たせしました、おじさん。あれ？
Oh, he did get got.
待たせすぎちゃったかな。寒いし、ひょっとしたらあれかも。
She began scratching her head and blushing a bit, feeling embarrassed at the suggestion.
ああ、そっか。まあエンジンかかってるしすぐ戻ってきてくれるよね。待ってようか。
なんかね、寒くて私もお腹冷えてきちゃったよ。中で待たせてもらわない？
そうだね。開く？
あれ？ダメだわ。ロックかかってる。
しょうがないね。外で待ってよ。
Yo, why would the door be locked?
寒い。何時かな今。
8時17分。寒いわけだよ。
おじさん帰ってこないね。どうしよっか。
道も見えないほど真っ暗な車道は歩いて下山するには距離がありすぎると思うけれど。
来る時見ていたけど、ガードレールが切れてて危ない道がいっぱいあったよね。
Oh man, got snatched the clock. There were indeed, but I could easily imagine being blissfully unaware that we were near the edge of the road, then slipping and falling down the mountain.
布団もなかったし、歩くのかなり危ないかもしれない。
だね。もう少し待とっか。おじさんあれしに行ったのならすぐ戻ってきてくれるよ。
寒いけど待ってよ。
だけどさらに30分が経過してもおじさんは帰ってこなかった。おじさんどこ行ったのかな。全然戻ってきてくれない。
エンジンかけっぱなしでね。
暗い森の中、アイドリングの音だけが響き渡っていた。どうしよう。このまま私たち帰れなくなったりして。
携帯も圏外か。これじゃ連絡もできないわね。こうなったら仕方がないか。中島さん、 一度この坂の上の納屋に戻らない？あそこ電灯もついたし。
納屋に？
歩いて降りられないなら朝までちゃんと休める場所にいた方がいいと思うの。ここよりは安全だと思うし。
一晩過ごすのか。
And coming here so late was a bad
こ
idea.
んな真っ暗な山奥で朝までなんてゾッとするけれど、もう他の選択肢がない現状では事前の策を取っていくしかないのはもっともだとも思う。だけど安全って？
この道路はというかこの山全体だけどすごく嫌な感じがするの。得体の知れない気配というか、ちゃんと明かりのつく夜風も避けられる場所に身を寄せるべきだよ。
Yep, bad in all caps
得
idea.
体の知れない気配？それは恐ろしいこと？
よくわからないの。人のような、違うもののような、一つのような、たくさんのような。ただ言えるのは、じっと今も見られているってこと。
わかった。じゃあ急ごう。納屋の方に行こう。八方塞がりになってしまった私たちは仕方なく道路を後にして舗装されていない道を登ってさっきの納屋を目指すことにした。ところが、ねえ院長、
Oh shit.
こんなに離れていたっけ納屋。
おかしい。おかしいよ。いつの間にか道もなくなっちゃってる。こんなことって。
待って、一人で行かないで。
ごめん。ねえ、一旦戻りましょう。まっすぐ引き返すの。
そうだね。
They got pulled into a pocket dimension.
ねえ、こっちで合ってる？そろそろ車道の方に出るはずじゃない？ここ。
嘘でしょ。迷っちゃった。森の中で。
気がつくと私たちは針葉樹林の立ち並ぶ深く暗い森の中にいた。細くて背の高い木々が影となって周りを取り囲んでいて、ほんの少し先も見渡せない。
Pocket tree dimension.
携帯のコンパスは？
ダメ。これも GPS 使ってるもの。
そうなの？
なんで位置情報取れないの？もうこんな時こそ使いなさいよ。
What the fuck?
今声した。
聞き取れなかったけど人の声っぽかった。何か木のきしみとかかもしれないけど。とにかく森を出なきゃ。こういう時どうすればいいのかな。闇雲に動いたら遭難する？
そうね。山で迷子になったら確か低い方に向かって歩いちゃダメって聞いたわ。
知らなかった。
そもそもこんな真っ暗な夜なら 動かずに休んだ方がいいんだろうけど、テントもないし寒いしね。2人くっついてればなんとかなるかな。
うん。でもさ、まだ歩く元気あるし、もう少しだけ動いてみない？車道の近くに行けたらおじさんの車の明かりが見えると思うんだ。
そうね。
あの木の感じ、さっきも見たような気がするんだけど、同じとこぐるぐる回ったりしてないよね。山の中の風景はどこも似たり寄ったりで、自分たちがちゃんと移動できているのかも不安になる。なになになに？
あっち、なんか音がした。
どこ？どの辺？
Uh oh.
何？今の。希望を求めて、気づけば私たちは2時間以上歩いていた。2人とも悪路で足も痛めつつあって、体力をかなり失ってしまった。
もう動けない。
Not the right continent for those.
委員長が枯葉の溜まった地面に座り込んだその時、委員長、委員長、見て、あそこ。うっそうと茂った針葉樹のシルエットの向こうに小さな光が見えた。助かった。
ありがとう中島さん、見つけてくれて。
行こう。足首の痛みも忘れて、私たちは足早に光の方へと駆け出した。すると光の元はさっき目指していた納屋だった。中の裸電球の明かりがこうこうとついている。
よかった。あ、納屋の光だったんだ。おじさんの車の車内灯かと思ったんだけれど。
ええ、でもむしろこっちの方でよかったよね。目的の場所だし。
でもさっき私たち電気つけっぱなしで帰っちゃったのかな。
Uh oh.
消したつもりだったけど、自信なくなってきたよ。
まあおかげで目印になってくれたし助かったけどね。
木々の間の背の高い草むらをかき分けて納屋に近づく。私たちはいつの間にかさっきとは裏側の方の森の中に来ていたらしい。
Night talkers, huh?
着いた。中に入ってよ。
明かりがあるだけで本当に心強いね。
時刻はもう夜の10時40分を過ぎていた。お母さんに心配かけちゃうなと家のことを思いながら納屋の入り口の扉に近づく。すると私の横で委員長が奥の暗闇の方を見据えて震え始めた。どうしたの？
中島さん、見て、納屋の隣。
には想像を超えた光景が待ち構えていた。そんな、何これ。
Holy shit. Yeah, radio hosts ask people to call with their real horror stories. Oh, sweet. Sounds like I think a Charizard game has that same kind of plot.
納屋の横の昼間更地になっていた篠崎家の跡地に、古い屋敷がぼーっと浮かぶように立っていたのだ。私も委員長もありえない光景にただ呆然としていた。
さっき夕方なかったよね。
Holy shit. The movie follows those people.
なかったよ。なかったけど。
じゃあなんで立ってるの？
知らないわよ。
It only appears at night.
全身鳥肌が立っているのがわかる。
And if you go inside, it swallows you whole.
背骨の上を冷たい汗がずーっと滑り流れていく。うっすら光ってない？この家何なの？ボロボロに老朽化した2階建ての建物には、しかし確かに篠崎と表札がかかっていた。
It's here now because the freaks come out at
こ
night.
れはやっぱり篠崎義恵と幸子の暮らしていた家のようだ。過呼吸。大丈夫？委員長。心配する私を委員長が手で制す。
平気。ありがとう。口を押さえていればすぐに収まるから。中島さん、これはチャンスだよね。
え？
私たちはこの篠崎家を調べるために来たんだもの。向こうが手招きしてくれている望むところじゃない。
入るの？
怖いけど逃げるわけにいかない。
Yeah, Monster House was a good
委員
movie.
長は息をのみ屋敷を見上げる。やがて覚悟を決めた表情で躊躇なく玄関扉に手をかけた。委員長が力を込めると簡単に扉は開いた。
行くわ。
Hell no. Hell yes, this is gonna be the next game.
待ってよ。
I think.
ダメだわ。篠崎家の真っ暗な家屋には電気は通じていなかった。
納屋の方は明かりつくのにね。
委員長が懐中電灯で玄関廊下の奥を照らす。すぐに右に折れるようになっていて、先の方は見渡せなかった。懐中電灯でぐるりと辺りを見回すと、玄関のすぐ近くに 2階へ上がる階段があった。
気をつけて。すごいここ。
霊感体質の委員長は顔が真っ青で気分が悪そうだ。怯えるようなけれど立ち向かうような目で天井や壁を見回している。
エンジンショーより黒い。真っ黒だよ、ここの冷気。
本当？
気を抜かないでね、一瞬も。
思えばこの家に踏み込んだ時、非日常の世界に飛び込んだのだ。
Smells like must.
普通にこうして私の肉眼に映っているこの家の壁、床、天井、この建物の存在自体がもうありえない現象そのものだもの。ここでは何が起こっても不思議ではないんだ。分かってたつもりだったけど、私は改めて身震いした。
なんだかすごく深い感情の乱れが波となってこの家の空気に刻まれてる。何があったんだろう。この家が取り壊される前。
Oh my god, it's still going? Yo, this is like kind of close to when I usually end stream, and it's going on longer than I thought it would. Shoe shelves are full of dead rats. Each one of them, without exception, has had its stomach dug out. Maybe they ate each other. Hopefully they ate each other. It's an old picture frame, but the glass is broken, and there's no picture inside. The landscape painting of a lake somewhere. Hard to tell in this light, but it looks almost like the lake's surface is comprised entirely of outstretched hands reaching up from below. It can be much more unsettling.
この鏡、良くないわ。見ていたくない。
どうして？
鏡ってね、人がずっと凝視というか覗き見るものでしょ。住んでいた人の思念がそのまま焼き付いて固定されていることがよくあるのよ。
確かに、なんだか誰かに見られている感じがするね。映っているのは私なのに。
今鏡に私と中島さんが映っていなかった。代わりに幸子と篠原さんが見えたような。気のせいかな。
Let's save. Door isn't locked, nor is it sealed shut like in the school, but it still wouldn't open. Seems to be something heavy blocking it from the other side. Japanese style floor toilet. Every part of it is distressingly filthy. There's spiderwebs strung up all along the inside.
床に血の跡があるわ。乾いてカピカピだけれど、どうしてこれ拭かなかったんだろう。
Shinohara is somebody else, I think. The drain is packed tightly with what looked to be thousands of bodies of unidentifiable insects. The window is located surprisingly high up along the wall, drawing only a view of the night sky. There are white objects stuck to the wall here. look kind of like gold pieces. Each one is protected behind a thick barrier of spider webs. Probably spider eggs. Ew. Hang on, let me take a look here. It's an old soaking tub with a water heater feeding into it. The heater is clearly broken and the tub is half filled with the green stagnant water and bugs.
見ちゃダメよしえや幸子だけじゃない。ここ精神科の診療所をやっていたからいろんな霊がたくさん集まってる。
There can't be like much left. Of this. Coffee table with a missing leg. Curious, you scan the immediate area for the wooden leg, but find that it's nowhere in sight. This used to be a floor cushion for people to sit at the coffee table, but all the cotton stuffing has been removed, leaving only the cloth skin behind. Traditional tatami mat, of the sort commonly found in virtually any Japanese home, propped against the wall, seems to be infested with bugs. We should save. I just saved, I think. Please wait here for your name to be called. Please help yourself to some tea.
待合。あ、そうか。ここってよしえが診療も行っていたんだわ。
Hello.
雪村さん。
はい。
どうしました？
There are various medicine bottles scattered here, and they're on the shelves. Pieces of cloth have been haphazardly tossed into this box. There also seems to be rolled up newspapers, but they're absolutely crawling with assorted bugs. Each of these drawers seem to be stuck to its frame, as if it's been glued shut. No obvious way to open them. These old boxes are packed with various odds and ends, including tiny toy rings and a few old yarn balls. These rings are practically black with crusted on dust and dirt. However, the money is covered in mold. Cross your eyes a bit, the holes in this shoji door kind of look like a person's face. I can kind of see it. As you see it, however, you can't unsee it, and the whole room becomes exponentially creepier. Probably best not to look at it all. Hang on. Yeah. Hang on, are there like multiple parts? Okay, no. It's an old style prefab sink. As with everything else, it seems to have fallen into complete disrepair over these many years.
いかにも廃屋だね。写真撮るとオーブがいっぱい映りそう。
The It's an old model refrigerator, post-icebox era, but very definitely not modern in any way. Seems to be completely empty inside. It's an old-fashioned gas range. Surface is stained with oil. The cabinet is filled with small dishes and utensils intended for use by young children. Each one is printed with cutesy bunny or cat designs. Bunny! Handles to these cabinet doors and drawers are all missing. Sounds of skittering buds can be heard within. Cabinet below the sink is off its hinges, and a few rusted together pots are hanging out from it. The odor given off by them is stomach churning. Alright, let's go up these stairs.
大丈夫かな?
Remember in the Holy Grail, never trust a bunny.
大丈夫? 板が腐ってて危ないよこの階段。気をつけて。周りに手をついて上がろう。不思議だわ。そもそもこの家って存在しないはずなのに、あるものすべて触れるし、手にも取れる。家自体が霊っていうケースもあるとか何かで読んだことがあるけれど。
This particular bedroom looks like it's been converted into a study. Seems out of place considering the family. Whose study was it? Desk is piled high with dust, but the items situated on it are neat and tidy. Whoever used it was very organized. Right in the middle of the desk sits a lone key, completely covered in dried blood. Take it. Take it. Key to Yoshi's room.
待って。何か聞こえない。木でできたこの家の床を革靴で歩くような音。誰かが下の階にいる。私たちは顔を見合わせてゾッとする。
We ain't alone.
足音はさらに階段を上がり始めた。上がってくる。隠れなきゃ。私たちは慌てて近くの部屋の中に身を隠した。少し開いた部屋の扉から階段を見張る。
Gotcha.
Oh, やだ。プレッシャーの連続に私は感触を起こしてしまった。すると委員長がそっと私の手を握って、中島さん、しっかり心を強く持って。天神症の経験を利用してやろう。弱った隙につけ込まれたら簡単に酷化しちゃう。分かってる。ありがとう。
Bookshelf is full of old books that have been thoroughly wrecked with age. Every one of them is yellow, musty, and falling apart. Well, it was worth a shot. There's no longer anything of interest on the desk. Okay. It's a frame of an old mirror that's long since been busted out. Where the looking glass once stood, there's now a creepy drawing of an old woman. It's just a rough sketch, but looks absolutely realistic. As if it could just jump out of the frame at any moment. One of its right legs was bent beyond repair. There's a thick layer of dust piled on top of it. No one's been sitting here for a long time. Door is locked. It looks like the key from the other room fits.
ここは部屋の至るところに幸子の写真が貼ってあった。とても愛おしそうに。
Pictures of Sachiko are spread out all across the surface of the desk. However, like many objects in Heavenly Host, they are fixed to the surface, as if they were mere decoration, can't be picked up or even moved. There's a tiny kimono in the box, sized for a young girl. The style looks similar to the ones worn in Shichi Gosan Festival, which would make the Sachiko's for sure.
日常の幸せな瞬間を捉えた写真。そこには被写体の篠崎幸子に対する愛情あふれる母親の目線が切り取られていた。あ、何これ。たくさんの幸せそうな写真に混じって家族3人の写った写真だけは異様だった。
Yo, they...
よしえの多分夫であろう男性だけ顔をボールペンでぐしゃぐしゃと塗りつぶされている。
これきっと幸子の父親だよね。どうしてこんな。
部屋を見渡すとこの男性が写っている写真だけはすべて同じことになっている。
What the hell? Interesting?
中島さん、見てあれ。
あれ、おまじないの。部屋の一角、神棚のような高い位置に幸せの幸子さんで使った紙人形とそっくりの片白が祀られていた。
ユタの鏡を模したご神教の前に置かれた片白。ナホさんが見つけたのはこれね。
憧れだったナホって人とは天神症で辛い別れになったそう。委員長が悲しそうな顔をする。片白の前には茶色く変色した正方形の和紙が置いてあり、墨で儀式の手段が記されていた。
Spirit in the ever after, to confer a dying land upon an offering, one shall mediate upon his or her name. Pleas must be spoken in silence a number of times, equal to all transgressors, plus the offering. An avatar for the offering must be torn and split equally amongst the transgressors. If performed correctly, the offering's desired location shall become the land in which he/she dies.
幸せの幸子さんの原型だった。
ヨシエが幸子を霊媒にこの儀式を行って死は天神書を作り出したってこと？二人とも生きている時に？どうして？何なのこの儀式。
なんだろうこれ。壁に0から9の数字を押し込むロック状のようなものが埋め込まれているのを見つけた。
どれ？
これなんか金庫っぽいよね。適当に押してみたけど反応がない。丸い状の端には右回りの矢印が描かれていて、状全体が少し回るようになっていた。回転させると押し込んだ数字がすべて戻りリセットされる。
Yikes.
そして、
Yeah.
文字盤の周りには 幸子の生前の写真がたくさん貼ってあるか。
これヨシエが設置したものだとしたら幸子に関係ある数字だとか。
そっか、案外単純にそうなっているかも。人が利用するものだから忘れないようにそうしている可能性もあるしね。
幸子に関係ある数字か。語呂合わせでいくつか試しに押し込んで回してみた。けれどことごとくカチャンと軽い音がしリセットされる。
幸子、天神症を生還した私たちが何か知っている情報はない？
What had we actually learned about Sachiko though, number-wise? All I could come up with was an approximate height. That didn't work. What about that kimono? That was from the Shinto Shichi-Go-san festival for children ages 7, 5, and 3. Age 5 is just for boys, if I recall correctly. Sachiko was a lot older than 3 in those photos. So how about actually Sachiko's age 7 all by itself? It was a long shot, but...
あ、開いた。
すごい中島さん。
壁の錠のある部分が小さな隠し扉になっていて、錠自体がノブ代わりとなって手前に引くことができた。しゃがまないと入れないくらいの隠し扉の奥には地下室に降りる階段があった。クモの巣、怒りもすごいよ。
どれどれ見せて。倉庫かしら。
懐中電灯で地下の様子を照らしてみても、下の階は意外と深い位置にあってよく見えない。
あるはずのない建物のあるはずのない隠し通路か。危険度は最高レベルね。私たちこの世じゃない場所の入り口に立っている気がする。
委員長がまっすぐに私の目を見つめる。怖いんだ。でも言いたいことは分かってる。たとえ恐ろしい運命が待っていたとしても、これは私たちが喉から手が出るほど欲しかった呪いの真相への入り口、新しい世界への扉。引き返したら一生後悔する。私たちは顔を見合わせて地下に降りる決心をする。
おそらくこの先はナホさんも到達していない領域だわ。気をつけて中島さん。何が起こっても気を緩めちゃダメよ。
She began descending the stairs ahead of me, but stopped and looked back after only a few steps to issue me one last warning. I nodded again.
さっきの足音、やっぱり何かが歩き回ってるんだ。2階に来てる。
They were extremely close. Sounded as if they were poised just outside the door to Yoshi's room, just a few feet away.
中島さん、地下に行こう。
私たちは逃れるようにして隠し扉の奥へ入った。木でできた地下への階段はより一層老朽化が激しく、ミシミシパキリと折れそうな音を立てる。恐ろしいのをこらえてゆっくり一段ずつ降りていくと、やがてジメジメした地下室に着いた。
大丈夫？足元にいろいろあるわ。気をつけて。
Yeah, whoever it was sounded like they had some heavy feet.
真っ暗でよくわからないけど、委員長の懐中電灯でチラチラと照らされる地下室の内部には そこら中にガラクタや本が散乱していた。机の上には山ほどの本やルーズリーフ、紙の資料、科学実験室にあるようなビーカーや三角フラスコなど、まるで科学者が研究か実験でも行っていたかのような散らかり方だった。
あれは何かのケース？
委員長が離れた机に置いてある古びた紙に近寄っていく。
中島さんにも明かりが必要ね。そこ、ノコギリの刃とか工具が机に置いてあって危ないよ。ごめんね。ちょっとそこで待ってて。
Size 12 Ghost Lovers.
能力者一族系譜の図？これは家系図ね。何能力者って。篠崎、三船、島村、三田、長尾。え、この名前。
そう、あながち嘘でもないのです。明治後期にたくさん生まれた念写、千里眼といった能力者たち。有名な千里眼事件の三船千鶴子や長尾育子、あの先人たちの能力の真偽はともかく、
When you see a genealogy, it's gonna get bad.
超能力が科学に負けたあの宣言から後も、能力者たちは野に伏せながら自らの力を錬成し続けているのです。
Whatever is going on, it must run deep.
能力者。じゃあ、ヨシエの家も超能力者の家系なの？ここは調べた通りだわ。男子に恵まれなかった篠崎家は、その母方の家と血を継承していくために婿養子を取ってきた女系の家。このケースの中にヨシエと幸子もいるはずだよね。あった。やっぱりヨシエもその母親も竹から婿養子を入れて血をつないでいるのね。当主の名はセイラ。
Wow, no, man. I know, it's crazy.
ヨシエの母親はラッキー。長女なんだ。兄弟に男子もいない。なるほど。当主直系のサラブレッドなのね、ヨシエは。死後霊になってあれだけの力を持つのもわかる気がする。ラップがすごいな。そして婿養子に入った父親は例外なく急死している。まるでこの家が篠崎家以外の血を排除しようとしているかのようだわ。
Yo, that's fucked up.
として迎えるにしたって、結婚するからにはきっと愛情だってあるはずだから。篠崎の女性だって辛いでしょうね。
お父さん息してないよ。
あなたやはりこれは行うべきではなかった。
Oh, shit. Yo, memories are flowing into her
な
head.
んて強い霊障。篠崎かなえ、 の人、あやと。これ、おばあちゃんとおじいちゃんとお父さん。そういえば、入り婿だったおじいちゃんは、お父さんが生まれてすぐに亡くなったって聞いていたけど、篠崎家当主の3人の娘、その三女から派生した枝葉に、かなえおばあちゃんが。名前で嫌な直感はあったけど、私の家族がリュシエや幸子たちの家系とつながっていたなんて。能力って何？
ねえ、何かあったの？暗くて怖いよ。
ごめんね。すぐそっち行く。ちょっと危ないけど、私のろうそくあげるよ。
Yeah, that sounds about right.
委員
Who's
長
playing
が
those strings?
古びた紙を手に持って震えていた。どうしたんだろう。
Book of Shadows。
委員長、大丈夫？
万力で潰されるみたいに。
やだ、しっかりして。委員長が部屋の一角を凝視して固まる。目を丸くして異様な雰囲気。猫が部屋の一点を見つめて動かなくなるような。そこに何かいるの？音を聞いているの？心配というか怖くなって、私は委員長の体を掴んで揺さぶった。委員長、どうしたの？けれど彼女はすっと手で私を制し、ゆっくりと立ち上がって凝視した一角に向けて歩いていく。そこは一見して周りと変化のないただの壁だった。前に立った委員長はしばらく凝視した後に急に壁を破壊し始めた。老朽化しているので壁の板は簡単に壊れていく。腐食した穴に指を入れて力を入れて引き剥がすと、板はすぐに短く折れて床に散る。しばらくすると壁には大きな穴が開き、穴の向こうには隠れた空間があった。押し入れ程度の、そこには黒く分厚い本が置いてあり、
Yo, there it is.
ブックオブシャドウズ。どうしてこれが日本に？
委員長、どうしたの？この本、何？
Whatever it was clearly a very old book, and it didn't look like it was bound from paper. There were small ornamental patterns sewn into it, all of which had a certain disconcerting quality about them. In addition, a liquid that looked just as much like blood as it did ink had poured into a multi-hued stain all across the lip of the front cover. That grotesque cover was already unpleasant looking enough to begin with. Necronomicon! Ah! Klaatu! Barata Nikto!
人の皮と動物の皮を縫い合わせて作られた本、きっと間違いないわ。これはね、暗黒の書、ブック・オブ・シャドウズ。お姉ちゃんに教えてもらったんだけど、血塗られた歴史の裏に隠された闇の書物よ。お姉ちゃんに教えてもらったんだけど、血塗られた歴史の裏に隠された闇の書物よ。魔女狩り？そう。犠牲者の数は4万人にも上るとみられる集団妄想における迫害殺戮とも言われている。当時悪魔と契約したとして魔術を使った容疑をかけられた人はね、教会や民間による裁判にかけられて、ひどい拷問にかけられたり処刑されたりしたの。とても残酷な方法でね。自然災害や貧困にあえぐ市民たちの不平のはけ口として、権力者たちにもスケープゴートとして利用されたのね。主に生活の不安定な地域で苛烈に行われたこの悪臭に容疑をかけられて殺された犠牲者は、ほとんどの場合が意味のない言いがかりだったんだけれど、実はその中には
実際に動的魔術を使いこなす能力者たちも本当にいたのです。
能力者？動的ってことはほうきで飛んだりとかの魔法使い？嘘！
にわかに信じがたいですね。でもね、あゆみちゃんには知っておいてほしいのです。科学的に説明がつかないパラノーマルの存在を。
お姉ちゃんの研究のこと知ってるから、自然の法則とか魔法の本質が祈りであるとか、そういう力のあることはなんとなく想像できるけど、それ以上はファンタジーだと思ってた。
私がウィッカの道を目指した時にお父様たちが猛反対された理由にも関わってくるのですが、まあそれは篠崎の家のルーツにも理由があって長くなるから、これはまたいつか話しますね。
うん。
魔女というのはすなわち村の賢者でもあったから、書生にも長けていたのですね。彼女たちは迫害を逃れるため一切の力を隠して生きてきたので、実際の能力者の大半は処刑されずに生き延びたそうなのですが、その後魔女禁止令が廃止された後でも殺戮の強烈な記憶からむやみに力を使えない風潮は続いていたため、その力は使われないままに日に日に薄れていったのです。魔女たちは長い年月の歴史で培った代々伝わる魔法の術がこのまま無意に失われてしまうことを恐れたのですね。力を後世に継ぐため、その秘術を事細かに記し始めたのです。
その集大成がこのブック・オブ・シャドウズ。何人もの能力者の手を渡り、海底に海底を重ねて死んだ万象を操る魔術の極意が収められているというウィッチクラフト英知の結集。怪奇神話に出てくるアルアジフという魔導書の存在はフィクションと言われてるけど、人づてに存在を伝えられてきたこの本は実際に存在するって研究者の間ではまことしやかに語られてきたものなの。白魔術、黒魔術とたくさんの秘術が記されていて、中には禁忌とされる邪術も含まれているんだって。
Yo, white and black magic. So basically, the people who study this book are red mages. I've just been sitting here in like stunned silence this whole time.
邪術って危ないとか？
だから素人による悪用や事故を防ぐために門外不出の書として代々魔女の家系で守られてきたもののはずなんだけど。
なんでそれが今こんな日本の片隅に？
わかんない。でも実際この半世紀ほどの間本物を目にしたって証明する人がいなかったから。
Makes sense.
やっぱりその存在は疑わしいとされていたらしいんだけど。
Class rep suddenly picked up the book and began casually thumbing through it, as if she were looking up a word in a dictionary.
ちょっとそんなもの手に取って開いちゃって大丈夫なの？
少しだけ。
動物の皮を縫い合わせて作られたような厚い表紙のその本は、委員長の手に持った漢字を見るとずっしりと重いもののようだった。彼女はペラペラとページをめくり始める。現実とオカルトが完全に入り混じり、私は目の前に起きている信じられない事象をただ眺めていることしかできなかった。本はやっぱり日本語ではなくフランス語で記されていて、ところどころ魔法っぽい象形文字みたいなものまで混じっていた。高校生の私も委員長にも読むことができない。けれどところどころ日本語で注釈の書かれたページもあった。もしかしたら篠崎義恵が書き加えたのかな。
日本語注釈のあるページに出ているといいんだけど、確か邪術の中には。
鬼気迫る表情でページをめくっていく委員長。どうしたんだろう。おろおろするしかない自分がもどかしい。やがて足が疲れたのか、今度は床に座り込んでページをめくる。そしてある場所で彼女は手を止めた。あ
ったわ。
え？
ランド・オブ・コープス、死者の国への扉を開く呪術。これが多分天神書を作り出す邪術のベースね。いっぱい付箋が貼って、
いろいろメモしてあるね。でもなんでページ全体を×してあるの？
わからない。失敗したのか、途中でおじけづいたのか。でもね、そんなのどうでもいいの。これよ、中島さん見て。ライズ・オブ・コープス、死者を蘇らせる呪術。
これって嘘でしょ。死者をってそんなことできるわけがない。
まだ常識にとらわれているの、中島さん。忘れたのかしら。私たち今どこにいるの？
Yo, someone get a spray bottle of water and spray her ass. What the fuck?
確かに起こっているすべてがすでに今朝までの現実のものではなくなっていた。だけどこういうのって大丈夫なの？倫理というか超えちゃいけない一線というか。
怖いの？
え？
あなたが怖いだけじゃない。相手のことを思いやってない。なすすべもなく、ゆい先生も鈴本さんも篠原さんも森重君もあんなひどい形で命を落としてしまって、しかも存在まで消されて、そんな現実認めるの？私は絶対認めない。あなただってそうでしょ？
Right. Our friends were dead. They died. And we came here so we could do something about it. We didn't do this, nothing would change. They'd still be dead. No hope of ever hearing their voices again. Hello. Their faces eventually forgotten.
私の目から涙が勝手に溢れてきた。会いたいよ。なんだっていい。みんなが帰ってくるのなら、聖子ともう一度会えるなら。
大丈夫だよ。大丈夫。もう何も怖いことなんてあるものですか。私たち天神賞の地獄を越えてきたんだよ。あとは心に従おう。私たちにできることがあるならやるしかないわ。やりましょう。
It didn't matter how improbable or even impossible this was. Even if there were only one in a million chance, we had to take it. It was absolutely foolish of us to try this. It was unnatural and unholy and completely inadvisable. As long as there was a slight possibility, this was something that just had to be done. We weren't about to give up without a fight. No! But the natural order of things.
車術以上に術者に返ってくる障害反動が大きいとは聞いているけど、日本語じゃない部分は読めないし、考えなくていいわ。それぐらいないよ。私平気。
No!
だけど、これで死んだみんなを生き返らせれば、存在は消されたこの世にも強引に戻すことができるんじゃない？
じゃあ実行しよう。
よし、まずは鈴本さんからでいいかな。蘇生に必要な写真も彼女のなら持ってるから。私
Oh boy.
分かった。まずは鈴本さんを蘇生させる。儀式に必要な素材、虫の抜け殻や生き物の体の部位などはすべて地下室に瓶詰め保存されていて事足りた。ナイフでごぼう星を描いた床の模様の上に幸せの幸子さんでも使用した型白を3枚並べ、真ん中に蘇生したい人の名前とそれを挟んで術者の名前をそれぞれ書く。
鈴本真由と。
委員長の持ってきた鈴本さんの写真を型白の上に置き、自分の型白に息を3回吹きかけ、さらに自分の両手のひらをナイフで切ると溢れ出た血を素材にかける。
よし、行くよ。我慢して。
I feel your flash. My blood mixed together with the class reps in the white ceramic dish, forming one singular globule. I remembered hearing once that everyone's blood is a slightly different color. I found myself thinking of this as I applied pressure to my throbbing palms.
そして本に書いてある通りに魔術の呪文を唱え始める。カタカナでルビが振ってあったから助かった。
マリア、テムリア、ガンダ。 トリオス、イヌムス、カリート、テムラ。
This was starting to feel crazy. I was sitting here listening to the class rep chant a magic spell to raise the dead for goodness sake. I wasn't sure how much of a grip I had on reality anymore. What were we thinking, trying something like this? Would this really bring Suzumoto back? No, I had to concentrate. If I doubted the spell, then the spell would fail. For now, I had to believe that this would work. I had no reason not to.
リテリア、マナナスカペラ、ウイカウイカ、ルカ、トピカ、カラ。
儀式を始めて数時間ほど経った頃、委員長は呪文を唱え終えた。委員長、大丈夫、しっかり。
うまくいくかな。
Uh-oh.
開かれた本の中心に赤い文字のようなシミが浮かんだ。まるで血が飛び散ったような。
これは。いけない、本が燃えちゃったら。
慌てて暗黒の書を火から隔離する。鈴本さんの写真は燃え尽きてしまった。けれど彼女の片白には火がつかずに残っていた。何これ、成功なの？この声は鈴本さんだ。私たちは手を取り合った。声をかけようとした私を委員長が止める。
何かおかしい。
何が？
I hate to say it, but if this doesn't end soon, I'm gonna have to like end the stream in the middle of it.
同じ場所ぐるぐる回ってる。
開けっぱなしにしてきた回天井の隠し部屋の扉がきしんで開かれる音がした。足音がした。先ほどと違うのはその音が階段を降りてきていることだ。未知のものへの恐怖か。私たちは体がすくんで動けなかった。上の階からゆっくりゆっくり何かが降りてきた。鈴本さんだった。だけど顔が真っ黒。目も鼻も口も何もない。苦しさから上げる苦悶のような絶叫。人の声とは思えないぐらいの強烈な叫び声。死の淵にいる魂の端末魔。 邪術は失敗だった。地下室の床に仰向けに倒れ込み、もがき苦しむ鈴本さんのようなものを目の当たりにして、私たちになすすべはなかった。もがき苦しむ彼女の体に突如文字のようなあざが浮かび上がる。突然鈴本さんの片白に火がついた。その直後、そのあざの形に血しぶきが走り、腕と首と太ももがあざの部分で胴から分離して、鈴本さんのようなものはピクリとも動かなくなった。彼女の片白も燃え尽きた。
Oh my god!
突然委員長が膝をついて倒れ込んだ。見るとさっきの鈴本さんと同じ場所、足と腕から血が流れている。委員長、
They're dead!
委員長のあざに丸ノコギリの刃が刺さってる。どうして？どこから飛んできたの？
さんのようなものの死の再現。邪術は確か黒魔術以上に術者に返ってくる障害反動が大きいとは聞いているけど、この本日本語じゃない部分は読めないし、考えなくていいわ。それぐらい何よ、私平気。障害反動。
ついた片白を必死に手ではたく。夢中だったから炎の熱さも感じなかった。消えて消えて消えてよ、消えてってば。いやダメだ、全然消えない。何かないの？辺りを見回すと近くのペンキ缶に水がたっぷり入っている。これ！考えるより前にそれを掴んで火に向かって振りかけた。
Oh my god! Blood began spurting from the mark on the class rep's neck. The rounded saw blades from the desk earlier were sticking into it for some reason. Seemed to be no escape for us. We were destined to die here. This was our punishment for meddling with things no humans should. For playing God. Yeah, that book's definitely alive. Mine was on fire now too. I was next. There was no fighting this. We were both going to die here. We were going to die horribly and painfully. Like an angel sent down from on high, our savior sentiently appeared. A woman older than us scrambled down the stairs, calling out the class rep's name. She leaped over the railing and practically dove towards the burning paper dolls. I had no idea what this woman had just done, but whatever it was, it saved us. The flames were out, and we were no longer in danger. Clutch save, yeah. Class rep's neck, though gashed, was still fully intact.
長が飛び込んできた女の人にしがみついて泣きじゃくってる。あの人がいつも話しているお姉さんなんだ。
What the? Oh my... She... swapped her life for theirs. I think. Oh my god. Well, it's gonna be a while before I can get to Corpse Party, Blood Drive, but I will get to it eventually. In the meantime, what will be the next game? I guess Danganronpa? Yeah, Danganronpa sounds about right. Oh my god. That what the end of this was a bang. What happened to the volume though? Yeah, that was nuts. Ooh, my legs are hurting. I was wowed it was. I was not expecting it to go on for as long as it did, but you know what? I'm glad I played through it. Yay! Real quick, let me see what the EVP machine is. Let's see.
Yui sensei.
Ah, I see. Okay.
Yui sensei. Yui sensei.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna end it here. So thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe if you want to. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye!